Yeah, so a lot of pairings with Labras tend to have her with either Yosuke or Teddy. Finally, and I do mean finally, we stand in front of the announcement room. Miss President and I exchange a glance. Then I summon all my courage and throw the door open. I'm expecting to see the fake Teddy, or I should say my shadow, in the room. Risei's the only one here.
Yosuke-senpai!
Are you alright? Where's the shadow?
You mean the fake Teddy? He hasn't come back at all. I sense this weird presence, but I don't know what it is.
Risei looks around nervously. I look around too. I haven't been in the announcement room that often, but I can tell that this isn't anything like the real one. The room is huge, with monitors everywhere. Not to mention the giant window taking up the entire wall, with a crazy view outside. Yeah, this is Crazy Town, alright. But what's this weird precedence that Risei is talking about?
What are you freaking out about? This is your chance to save a pretty girl and become a hero, right, Yosuke? Huh?
That's Yosuke-kun's voice.
I slowly turn in the voice's direction. There was no one there a second ago, but now suddenly there is, and he has my face. His inhuman golden eyes narrow in a taunting way. Ha! Looks like I was right.
There, Yosuke.
Yosuke-senpai's shadow?
Man, this isn't getting any easier. But at least I can confront him without freaking out, like I did last year.
I thought you merged back with me. I'll come out anytime you start ignoring me. I'm always watching you. I am you, after all.
This is a shadow?
Yeah, that's right. You're me. You're the weakness in my heart. I admit it. Now get back here.
I blurted out before I have time to get second thoughts. This should do it. Then the shadow starts laughing instead.
Not bad, but that's exactly what I mean by ignoring. You haven't changed at all since then. You just cover up whatever you don't want to see and paper over it. That's why I've returned. I'm not your persona anymore. Don't tell me...
Hold on a sec. Does that mean... Forget logic, it's faster to just try it. My nervous voice fills the announcement room, and that's it. My persona, Jiraiya, doesn't appear. Instead, the shadow begins laughing even harder.
No way.
So you really are?
To be honest, I was a little doubtful. And I hope that he wasn't my shadow. I mean, of course, I didn't want to believe if I was the cause of this Grand Prix mess, let alone admit that I was actually enjoying it. My shadow's right. All I was doing was ignoring the problem. My fists clench, my knees lock, and my entire body shakes.
Because I was weak? Is that why everyone got dragged into it? Yep. Because I wanted a crisis to solve again. Because the case ended and I was bored? You got it. I'm sure you understand without me having to tell you. I couldn't save Saki-senpai. I didn't want to ever lose someone again, but I still wished for this.
I was proud that Inaba was peaceful, and I thought that I could finally be proud of putting Saki-senpai's death behind me. And yet, I was really faking all that. Was I really faking all that? In the end, am I just a loser who put his own boredom over the death of a loved one?
Senpai.
I could hear the quivering in Risei's voice. No, this isn't true. Don't look at me. This isn't me.
It's all your desire. Trust me, I know. I am you after all.
I could feel myself ready to fall to my knees. I can't use my persona anymore. I thought that I had changed, but now I have literally lost everything. I have to accept it. My mind knew what to do, and my heart still raged against it. Even before I knew what I was saying, the words were flying from my mouth.
You're not.
No, Senpai, look at me.
I lift my eyes and look at Rise. Excuse me. She was... there she was, with Miss President standing next to her. It was tough seeing the looks on their faces. I look away quickly, but Rise scolds
No matter
me.
what weaknesses you might have, we'll never stop liking you. So please, don't deny who you are.
Why'd you have to get in the way?
Here, I finally got in touch with the others. Listen to them.
Rise closes her eyes and folds her hands as if in prayer. I see the elegant shape of her persona appear behind her. At that instant, voices pour into my head. These are...
Moron, what are you saying? Who do you think we are?
Yosuke-kun, we heard everything, but there's nothing for you to be afraid of.
I don't really get what's going on, but if it's going up, you just gotta beat the crap out of it every time.
We're all with you, Yosuke. You can rely on me too, you know.
Anyone can fall prey to the same troubles and insecurities. It's not just you, Senpai. It's true for all of us.
Everyone. My vision suddenly clears. I hadn't even realized that I was squeezing my eyes shut.
Naoto? How come you're here?
That's...
Who cares why? There's more important stuff at stake here.
And after Chie, the clearest voice of all.
You won the battle against yourself back then, but you can't do it this time? Yosuke, believe in us.
When I hear my partner's voice, I draw a ragged breath. I catch myself and inhale deeply, not noticing until now just how much I had tensed up in the last few moments. Rise, the bringer of these voices, turns to me. From the smile on her face, I know that she expects me to feel better now. And even though she happens to be scared right now, she cares enough to smile for me when I'm feeling down. That's right. I finally realized the simplest truth. The biggest difference between the person I was last year and the person I am now. I now have friends that accept me, and even when I doubt myself. How could I not believe in myself? How could I be too weak to stand up? They're all believing in me. I'm not alone, not anymore.
Such an idiot, aren't I? A grade A moron.
I raise my head and look straight at my shadow. Any trace of fear I had is completely
I
gone.
overcame my weakness and I was done with it for good. Dude, how naive was that, right? What? I'm weak. I'll probably always be weak. But that doesn't mean I need to run away. I'll keep fighting my weakness. And I'll do it as many times as it takes, even if that never stops.
My heart is calm. I was conflicted just a moment ago, but now everything has been made clear. They believe in me, and knowing that, I feel their faith in me pushing me forward. I can feel the power surging in me. The force filling my spirit causes me to shout.
Persona!
Shadow match.
Final. Fight.
Roller fight done.
You did it, Senpai! That was awesome!
I let Risei's adulation wash over me. But there's something bugging me. Something that could be really bad for me.
Conversation with my shadow. Did you?
I hijacked the school PA system.
I knew it. Everyone had been backing me up because they've been hearing everything I said leading up to it.
You saw my shadow last time. And now everyone got to listen in? Ah, so lame.
That's not true. You were really cool, Senpai.
Thanks.
Miss President looks like she's having trouble finding words for this. Damn, she's horrified by me. I can't blame her. She was left out of the picture. But well, explaining it to her can wait. I need to do something about my shadow. But when I turn around, my shadow isn't there.
Where did he go? If he disappears, won't my persona... Wait.
Something's not right. I used my persona during that fight. But my persona's... Excuse me. But my persona's my shadow. So if my shadow left me, how could I have used my persona? Finally! As I'm still struggling with that, Risei speaks up.
Something's not right.
Her voice is stiff. Did she just think the same conundrum that I did? No, that's not all. There's an eerie presence all around. Even I can feel it. It must be hitting Risei like a jolt of electricity. I can't let my guard down yet.
Yeah. Risei, Miss President, stay close to...
Right at that moment, the lights go out and the darkness covers the room.
What the hell?
I can't believe you've made it this far. They repeatedly suffered the pain of fighting their friends, but they still didn't lose heart.
The fight comes back on. The lights come back on. Fights. When they do, the fake Teddy is standing there. Why is it looking like that now? Wait, was it the one talking in that weird voice? Fake Teddy ignores me and looks at Ms. President.
No one can understand you after all. What a shame.
Who are you?
Then you weren't my shadow?
I want to make people fight. I especially want friends to fight against each other. Then maybe they'll understand how I feel. That was your wish, wasn't it?
What are you saying?
What does it mean? This was my wish? And what's with that voice? Wait a minute. It's not talking to me. Then you mean...
Senpai, get back! This shadow's reacting to Miss President! It was really her shadow!
What?
I can feel my brain cracking open like a dropped watermelon. That's Miss President's shadow? But it just said that it was my shadow. But now that I think about it, this General Teddy has always been hostile to her, ever since we met outside the school. That would explain Risei's voice on the PA system too. Well, duh. If a normal person's in here long enough, of course their shadow is going to split away from her. Of course their shadow is going to split away from her. I should have known that. After all, that's exactly what kept happening last year. Miss President just looked so healthy that it never occurred to me. This is just... As if to mock my astonishment, the shadow keeps talking in General Teddy's shape.
I did exactly what you wished. So, how did that work out for you? They still couldn't understand you. No one can really understand how we feel, can they? Come on! How much longer are you gonna keep deceiving yourself? Didn't you hear them say you shouldn't ignore who you are? Here, I'll show you your reality.
With that sound, the enemy finally shows its real form.
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face.
But that's all that's the same. Even though her shadow has the same face, her body is wrapped in metal. Miss President screams at what appears to be something from a sci-fi flick.
No, you must remember now. No, I'm not like that.
No, Miss President, calm down. A shadow doesn't just take on your appearance. You look like a twisted version of you to agitate you even more.
No.
I try calming her down, but my words aren't reaching her. She just keeps shaking her head in denial. What's going on here? Shadows are things that exemplify what their originals want to be. I never heard of them transforming into other people. The shadow sees my confusion and smiles.
It's an illusion.
Huh?
It's an illusion. Isn't that what you thought when you fought your friends? Your senses were being deceived, warping what you saw, twisting what you heard.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other. Is that your power?
Not just mine. It's actually our power. Isn't that so? Me.
Our? What is she saying?
I'm not like you. I'm human.
Miss President crouches down and says the words that are always bad. With that, the shadow smile grows even more menacing as it snaps its fingers again. At that moment, then something like TV static flashes over my eyes. I rub my eyes. The static doesn't cover my entire field of view, but slowly begins focusing around Miss President. When it clears, she's changed. Metallic limbs stretched out from her uniform. Something metallic, like wings, unfurl from her back. There's no doubt she's the same as the shadow standing in front of us. She cries out and tries to cover her ears. But when she does, the sound of metal grinding against metal accompanies her movements. I see myself reflected in the shiny metal of her fingers. Excuse me? So that means the shadow isn't some fantasy version. That's her true self. So Miss President was the one trying to look like a human?
No! I'm human! You still believe that about yourself? No human can do that. And you know it.
The shadow points at me, and I'm at a loss for words. I look around, but in the end, my eyes meet hers. We both fall silent. In those few seconds, I can feel a deep rift growing between us.
No, don't get me wrong. I was just a little surprised.
I'm human.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Suddenly, there's an explosion so loud, I think my eardrums are blown out. The smoke makes me cough and my eyes tear up. I manage to focus and see a hole in the wall. I can barely see through the smoke, but I can see the hallway on the other side. Eventually, the smoke clears and a shape steps through the hole.
I didn't sense anything until now.
Yeah! P3 best girl! It was a girl. Blonde hair, blue crystal-like eyes. But there are metallic sounds as she walks.
So this is where you were.
Another robot girl?
It's another girl with a mechanical body, just like the shadow in Miss President. She looks at the trembling president and calls out.
Just remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be. Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
Labris? Weapon? Evil Giant, and thank you for the follow. I just realized I I just realized I still have my email up. Welcome to the stream. How was your day? What? What is going on here? Ah, it's morning for you, huh? When the new girl says Labras, Miss President opens her mouth, trembling.
My name is Labras? Labras.
In that instant, her pale face flushes with comprehension. She looks down at her mechanical limbs, and her face twists into a bitter expression. In the meantime, the shadow glares at the other robot girl.
Don't tell me you're...
Yes. I am the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Aegis. I am the model that came after you.
Huh. So you're here to seize her. Well, I won't let you. I'm sick of that place. I'm going to be free. Isn't that right, me? Won't that be better than letting the Kirijo group capture you again? Kirijo. Capture?
Miss President blankly repeats the shadow's words. She turns to me, her eyes filled with desperation.
Human?
I should answer her, and I try, but nothing comes out of my mouth. In that moment, I can feel our fate it's ripping apart.
I will take my freedom!
The shadow's arms suddenly shoot out across the room. It's connected to her by a long chain, and it catches Miss President Labras in it. The chain reels in like it's connected to a winch, dragging her along. The shadow grabs Labras and lifts her on to its shoulders. In the next moment, the shadow bursts out of the announcement room. That was fast. Hard to believe she can do that while carrying Labras, who probably weighs as much as she does. Here we go for another filler fight. The other robot, Aegis, follows behind. That just leaves Rise and me, and a whole lot of questions. What the hell am I supposed to do now? The student council president isn't a human, but some kind of weapon? And there's another robot girl.
Ow!
Something smacks me in the back. It's Rise. She's staring at me with flushed cheeks.
Hi. Aren't you gonna go after them?
After them. Yeah, why am I spacing out? Of course I can't just let stuff end like this. So what if she's not human? So what if she is not what I imagined? She believed in me, she trusted me, and yet I completely failed her. I'm not gonna let it end now. Not a chance in hell. She didn't get to be a celebrity for nothing. She's really got some guts. It sure is great to have friends to urge you on.
You up from here. Good luck.
I nod with determination. I leave Rise alone and in the announcement room and run out the hole in the wall. I can't match their speed, but I know where they're going. Even when the shadow left the room, she turned towards the stairway. If she was going to head downward, it'd be faster to make for the fire escape in the other direction. So while that isn't a whole lot to go on, I think I could guess where they're going. To the roof. As I huff and puff my way up the stairs, I see the door to the roof is open, just as I thought. But when I got there, I didn't see what I expected to. It took my breath away. It looks like a studio, like that place. This is the entrance to this world we used up to the up until this spring. It went away after we solved the mystery last year, but it must have come back when Labras entered the TV and created the school. I guess that when and everybody saw the Midnight Channel, they all became interested in it like last time. That's why it looks exactly the same. Not exactly. It's a hell of a lot messier. To my memory. In the middle of the area, Igus and the Shadow, still carrying Labras, are at a standoff. Labras is silent. She looks conscious, but her eyes are empty, and she, as if she is given, as if she's given up trying to understand everything. The Shadow smiles when she sees me and snaps her fingers. Suddenly, the area is enveloped with a strange presence.
The Grand Prix isn't over yet. If you want to chase me, you better fight each other.
Hey, wait!
I try to chase after the Shadow, but I run into another invincible wall. Curse you, developers! This crap again! The Shadow disappears back into the school building. Damn it, it looks like it just helped her buy more time. The Grand Prix isn't over. Don't tell me I've got to fight more to keep going. So now I gotta fight this robot Igus? I timidly ask her. Hell, I don't know anything about her other than her name. First, I need to find out what the hell she's doing here.
Is it true you came to capture her?
You're Captain Ressentiment, Yosuke Hanamura, correct?
She knows me? And she knows about the Ressentiment part. Someone kill
I
me.
saw you in the video advertising this tournament. The one showing the people currently in this world.
Did you now?
Still, Ressentiment, huh? It still really pisses me off, but to be honest, it's not that far from the truth.
Normally, I would recommend that you evacuate at once, but neither of us can leave. I must go after her.
What a coincidence. Me too.
But this has nothing to do with you.
I may not have meant to, but I hurt that girl. She was depending on me, and I turned my back on her.
Not a human, a robot. So what? Not a human, a robot? So what? That's what I wanted to say to her, but I couldn't. That's
I
why...
need to go and apologize.
When I say that, Igus's expression relaxes. It's a really natural expression, very human-like. Labras's face was like that
I
too.
think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
She slowly begins to speak. Apparently, there were incidents involving shadows and personas outside Inaba too. They didn't start recently either, but they made it an unofficial squad to deal with stuff like that, and Igus belongs to that group. She's a weapon created solely to fight shadows. She was given a soul so that she could summon a persona, the only method of dealing with shadows. Miss President, Labras was a prototype, but she went AWOL. Holy crap. I mean, after last year, I'm ready for any kind of crazy story, but this still takes me by surprise. Of course, it's not all that hard to believe when one of the robot girls is standing right here in front of me. But still...
There are shadows outside the TV too?
We would never have realized that a television could lead to a space like this.
Well, I'm surprised by what you just told me, so... I guess...
I tried joking and smiling. So I guess we're even, haha. But Igus doesn't smile back. She looks straight at me. Her eyes are filled with strength. I can tell that she's measuring me up. Come to think of it, Labras looked at me the same way when we first met. I remember thinking, man, those eyes.
Hey, please tell me, what's going to happen to Labras once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Igus hesitates before answering, like she has to squeeze it out of her throat. That pause says more to me than her words.
If you have no other questions, then let us begin the battle. There isn't any time to spare. Please don't resist. I can knock you out painlessly if you comply.
Yikes. But hey, I can't back down.
I act cocky so that I won't get scared. When I smile, no, I know I can't just let her beat me.
Are you really going to fight a living weapon like myself? I do not mean to boast, but your chances of success are low.
Because she's P3 best girl.
I'm still a guy. And guys should help out crying girls, right?
For some reason, this brings a smile to her face. Then I had a thought. Was she trying to scare me to keep me from getting into something dangerous? Perhaps this is her way of trying to be kind to me. Well, if it is, it's not going to work. I'll never forgive myself if I was sent home now. I'd lose something important to me. I've already made my decision. Maybe Iga sensed that resolution in me because she makes a fighting stance.
I understand. I accept your challenge. Here I come.
Okay, I'm going to go for a quick bio break. Give me a sec, everyone. Alright, I'm back. This might equate to another loss since Igus is his owner.
Finally.
Just get slowed down. Please hit. Damage. Heavy damage. Severe impact. Light damage. Fire. Motor system error. Heavy damage. Severe impact. Let's simply right myself. Motor system error. Ready. Heavy damage. Heavy damage. Persona other cell. Okay. Target locked. Severe impact. Heavy damage. No! Persona my other cell. Just get Please stay back. Going. Can't. No.
Wow, she got some damage on me near the end there. My shoulders bounce down as I wipe my sweaty face from my sleeve. I'm completely out of breath.
Well done. I'm surprised you defeated me, but this may have been for the best.
Huh?
You are truly concerned for her, even after discovering that she's a living weapon. Your sympathy is much more impressive than that of a fellow machine like myself. Such consideration is immeasurably warm and cherished for us.
Igus's voice is gentle, and she also sounds a little sad. I sense that she's carrying a burden I can't even imagine. I don't know what to say, but she gives me another of those soft smiles.
I had my own friends once, and reached my own answer. I was thinking of telling my sister of these experiences.
Oh, she's your sister.
But I think it's better that you tell her instead.
Will I be able to do that? Wouldn't it be better for Igus to go? No, the answer's already there. I have to face Labras, for Igus's sake as well. I look straight into her eyes and show my
I
determination.
don't know if I have the answer you're talking about. There is something I want her to know. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it across, but when I was going through tough times, I had my friend.
Son of a bitch! There was just such an awesome speech, and I muffed the last word. I do it all the time, Yosuke. Silence ensues.
You pick up on everything?
Pure disappointment when you open your mouth. Now I understand.
How do you know about that?
My database is perpetually being updated. Even as we speak, I am receiving information about you from the server. Known for wearing a trash can on his head. I comprehend.
Wait, how come all this information about me is bad? What's the server you're talking about?
To think you would have such hobbies. The possibilities of man are truly infinite.
That That's not...
I love Igus.
Senpai, can you hear me?
A transmission from Rise. That's right, now's not the time to be acting stupid.
Loud and clear. Did you pick up Labrys' trail?
She's headed for the announcement room again. I'm gonna get out of here while I can.
The announcement room again. At first I was worried about Rise, but now that I think about it, as long as she can use her persona to track the enemy, she's safer than anybody in here. Yeah, kind of a spoiler since we haven't reached there yet, but it's like, it wouldn't be surprising if Rise could do this, but like in Persona 3, when you first meet Fuka, you find out she's been like trapped in Tartarus for quite a while, but she's managed to avoid every enemy because she was able to tell something was there. All right, time to catch up. If the Shadow needed Tamaska to make us fight to stall for time, it means she's still got something up her sleeve. I slap my cheeks and wake myself up a bit. I'll finish it this time.
Trust Labrys, my sister, with you.
Not likely this time, considering we don't have that much time left. I gotta end in half an hour because of load shedding. As I'm leaving, I hear Igus's voice from behind. Her words give me some relief.
I don't know, that you were gonna capture her and lock her up somewhere. Her shadow was talking about how she didn't want to be caged again, and that she wanted to be free. But you don't seem like the type to do that. I think you really do have her best interests in mind. I'll bring Labrys back to you, whatever it takes, Igus-san.
Hanamura-san, thank you.
Look at that. Labrys does have a place to go. Yeah. She doesn't belong here in this made-up school. I bow to Igus and start running again. I return to the announcement room and open the door. All I see is Labrys sitting alone and in the middle of the room. Her mechanical legs are splayed on the floor. She seems to be mumbling something happily. Okay, that's not right. The shadow is nowhere to be found. Where is she watching from? Oblivious to my suspicion, Labrys starts talking to me in a cheerful but almost lifeless voice.
It's you, Yosuke-kun. What's wrong? Shouldn't you be in class?
You're not thinking straight. We're inside the TV world. You're not the student council president.
What are you talking about? I came here to broadcast a student council announcement.
Labrys looks up with empty eyes. She's no longer in her human form. But her stuck-on smile is painful to look at. It's not her. That's not her real smile. I take a deep breath.
Labrys. That's your name. You know that, right? Let's go back and put an end to this fake world.
Why? Why are you saying that stuff?
Labrys finally looks at me clearly in the eye. She's seen the truth.
Stay here. This is the only place I can belong.
Labrys slowly stands up and puts her arm behind her back. She removes her wings and they expand to form a giant axe.
I won't go back. I'm gonna stay here forever and ever.
She brings down her axe with incredible speed. To swing a huge chunk of steel like that so easily, that's just not humanly possible. I mean, I expected as much, but I can't go easy on her.
Sorry I have to do this. I'll apologize as much as you want later. But right now, I've got to stop you with everything I have.
Darn it, I lost some frames. But it seems to have stopped quickly enough, though.
Final. Fight.
What's the big idea? Seriously? Hulk on me! Don't help me out. I ain't going down. Hulk on me! Seriously? Watch your feet.
Just getting started. Don't think you won yet.
What's the big idea?
Jeez, that corner screwed me over royal.
Why can't I stay like this?
What good will it do for you to forget everything? You know that you're trying to ignore the truth and that you're lying to yourself. That'll only bring you more pain.
Labyrinth drops to the floor, crying her heart out. I know that this is for her own good, but seeing it hurts me deep down inside. Labyrinth looks at me with eyes filled with misery.
Understand? No one can understand how I feel. That's right. They never understand.
An ominous voice, but it's into our conversation.
So you were nearby after all.
Why wouldn't I be? I'm her.
Damn, wherever she is, I can't see her. Where's she hiding? As I'm looking around... The darkness disappears and the scenery is completely different. The view outside the window has changed, and so something weird and creepy. A piercing red light fills the room.
What's going on?
What is that? Some giant metal container like a furnace, and something is being tossed into it like garbage. I look closer and see that the garbage looks like arms and legs. Hey, it looks like people. I try to calm the horror I feel creeping up my spine. I just don't know how to describe it. All I can say is that wherever this is, it's nasty. This isn't the announcement room anymore. As I stand fixated on the view outside, the shadow now appears silently from the corner of the room.
I still need her, so I can become myself.
She approaches me as she talks. Her face is illuminated by two things, the red light from the room outside and the madness in her eyes. I back away in spite of myself, but the shadow ignores me, just drawing close to Labrys. Shoot, that's right. Labrys hasn't said the words that the shadow needs to hear. Her shadow hasn't gained true power yet. That's why she was trying to buy time.
Your only escape route, but that's been stolen too. Poor pitiful me.
Labrys' shadow turns and begins regaling her. Her lips are at Labrys' ears, her words tugging at her heart.
Go through the same pain, but in the end, they still didn't understand.
The same pain?
It was so painful. It made you so sad. You hated destroying them.
Destroying them? I take another look at the horror show outside the window. The broken human figure is being thrown into the incinerator. This is a sight Labrys's heart created, right? Then that means this is... I suddenly felt like I could grasp the weight of Labrys was bearing on her in her heart. And I could see how heavy that weight was. The shadow takes a quick glance at me and continues shaking, and continues speaking.
He was forced to fight his friends too. But he didn't feel the despair that we did. He wasn't alone, after all. He's completely different from us. We're not human or an ordinary machine. We don't belong anywhere, and we'll always be alone. No one will ever understand us.
Please stop!
The shadow is trying to make Labrys deny that they're the same. I know that. But I can't do anything to stop her. I quietly watch as the two of them talk.
I'm not alone! I'm not!
If they don't understand, who will? The only ones who could were all destroyed by our own hands.
No! That was you! Not me! You're not me!
Well,
I'm free now! No one can capture me! I'm truly free!
here we go with morphing out again.
Yes, the power!
Well, there it is. The shadow goes wild and strikes Labrys, knocking her aside. I catch her from behind. Labrys looks up at me, a bit surprised. But the look in her eyes is frail, ready to fade away at any moment. I smile at her.
It's okay if you can't at first. It's really hard to accept yourself. The only reason I could do it was because I had friends to help me. It would have been impossible to do on my own. I'm here with you now. And you've got Aige-san too. We'll help you face yourself.
The shadow's form is a bit of a surprise. Instead of changing shapes, she summoned a monster behind her. What the hell, man? That's like a persona. And it's pretty gigantic. Just looking at it makes me weak in the knee. It's at least 3 times my size. The shadow's eyes grow golden as she turns her wings into an axe, like Labrys had. Crap, and it was hard enough fighting a robot girl with the axe. I'm gonna be honest here, I'm having a hard time thinking I can take her on by myself. But something pops in the back of my mind. The faces of my friends, of Aigis, everyone who's trusted me with all their hopes. I get ready to fight. Power surges through my body. Alright, now it's my turn to work.
I'm gonna save you no matter what. And when we make a promise like that, we keep it.
I'll go until the next fight is about to begin and then I'll end stream. God damn, it's always a pain in the ass dealing with Asterius. The shadow finally stops moving and settles down. I run to Labras to pick her up. She's still awake, but her expression is gloomy.
Such a failure. I can't win against anyone. I even let my shadow out. I'm a weapon, but I'm so useless. It would be better if I was just scrapped.
The lack of energy in her voice and body is enough to put me at a loss for words. Do I have an enemy to convince her otherwise? That doubt came crawling back into my mind. But I still need to tell you. I opened my mouth to put my heavy feelings in my heart into words.
Hey, there was someone I liked once, but she got killed. It was the worst thing you could imagine. I couldn't forgive myself or believe she was gone. I thought then that no one could understand how I felt. I mean, how could they if they weren't me? Only I could understand how I felt. That's what I thought. I had given up, but that wasn't true. Even if people haven't had exactly the same experiences, they can still understand each other. I have some great friends now to prove it.
Friends.
If I'm strong at all, it's because I have them. I can remember my friends are with me whenever it really counts.
Yeah, but I don't have that.
You should, though. There must have been someone who was important to you. Just think back.
Labras's lips quiver, and she shakes her head gently. A single tear was all it took. Like a dam breaking, she starts to cry.
They're all gone. I can't see them anymore. And it's all my fault!
Yeah, huh. That's what Shadow Labras was getting at. She didn't just lose them. I don't know the details, but I'm gonna bet that she had to destroy someone herself, against her will. I can't imagine the pain that would cause. But...
Can't it be us? You're friends.
As I say that, I stretch out my hands to her. But Labras looks away from me. She won't take my hand, and she won't take my hand.
I'm not human.
Who cares? One of my friends is a shadow. Remember Teddy? The one who was acting like your knight? He was originally a shadow. And you have Aige-san with you too. I know she was really worried about you.
Really?
She raises her head and looks at me, but she still hesitates. Shoot. I really don't know what to say in situations like this. I bet you would have the best lines memorized for the occasion. Just for the occasion. Okay, I gotta try something that sounds natural, no matter if it's particularly suave or not. Time to try a joke.
My arm's gonna get tired leaving my hand out like this.
Labras looks confounded for a brief moment. But it looks like I chose right.
Really are something, you know that?
With a smile, Labras takes my hand. It's cold and hard, but it feels natural. Because I know that it's the hand of a girl who's trying her best.
Not alone.
That's right. We'll be by your side.
Labras nods her head and slowly stands up. I offer to help her up, but she pushes my arm away and walks towards a shadow. The shadow says nothing. It just stares at Labras.
Everyone to understand. You weren't wrong about how I feel. I'm sorry I ignored you this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No, you are me after all. is my persona.
Wow. It's such an elegant white silhouette. It's hard to imagine that it was the same name as that black bull shadow. I was worried that there might be something wrong, like she was damaged or something. But when she turned to me, I can see the strength in her eyes. I breathe a sigh of relief. I lift my face and cheerfully call out to her.
Let's get going. Back to where our friends are waiting.
You got it.
Now that she's accepted herself, she nods to me and smiles like when we first met. No, even brighter. Labras accepted her shadow and the host disappeared. For a while, I was worried how the P1 Grand Prix was going to end, but it's all over now. So all that's left is for us to get the heck out of here. I hear from Rise that all those fantastic invisible walls have disappeared. Now I can go meet up with my buddies in Igus. Or so I thought. Led by Rise, Yu, Chie, and Yukiko all come running into the announcement room. Teddy, Kanji, and Naoto follow them. Way to rush things. But I guess I would want to run. I would want to run around if I was stuck in a cage all day too. The investigation team is back together. Everyone is surprised when they see Labras. I mean, I can't blame them. She's a robot. I explain the circumstances to them. Labras looks tense the entire time, but of course, even after learning how all of the transpired, there wasn't a single one of us who would blame her.
I lost in the very first round. I wish I could have fought a little more. I'm glad that I didn't have to fight you, Chie. At least fighting against Yosuke-kun didn't trouble my conscience.
Ouch.
It didn't?
There. She can say that because she loves you.
Pardon me if I don't share your optimism there.
These guys are way too easygoing. As I complain, Kanji seems pretty enthusiastic. As I'm complaining, Kanji seems pretty enthusiastic.
We should do that again sometime. It ain't good for our bodies if we don't let our personas out once in a while.
Not wrong.
But normal people can't let them out.
I'll sponsor a real Grand Prix. I'll call it our very first Go on a Date with Teddy Grand Prix.
God damn it, Teddy!
No one would enter.
Ouch.
Cruel.
Teddy bowls and throws himself into Labras's arms, and she hesitantly opens her mouth to speak.
Can I sign up?
Don't.
You shouldn't.
You know what? Count me in.
Oh, if you're in, then I'm in.
Oh, God.
Huh? Well, then me too.
I'm out.
Damn it, you jerks.
Meh, whatever. As long as it makes Labras smile.
It's time we go back.
Everyone cheers in agreement. We all head to the roof. That's where the exit from the TV world is, in the studio area. Plus, we can meet up with Igus while we're there. All Teddy has to do is bust out the exit, and we'll all be back at Junes. We climb the stairs, as I expected, Igus is waiting for us. When she sees that Labras is safe, she smiles.
It seems everything has been resolved.
But a pair I've never seen before are standing behind her. They have intensely intimidating auras. I can tell that they aren't normal people like me. I'm guessing they must be members of Igus's team on the same mission as her.
It's over already. I still don't feel entirely satisfied, though.
Hey Amethyst, welcome to the stream. We had a bit of a hiccup, presumably because of weather, but it's going well. It's been going well since. How's your day been?
Don't be like that, Akihiko. Just be happy that it's over.
I take a closer look at them. One's an amazing and gorgeous woman, and the other is a buff guy who isn't too shabby himself. I guess this is pretty easy on, and I guess it's pretty easy on the eyes too. But the three of them together, and they really pack a punch. And the way they're dressed, well, they pack a punch too, but in a different way. The beauty in the fur coat steps forward and bows to me. At the same time, Labras hides behind my back.
Kanamura, yes? You have my thanks for helping us retrieve Labras.
Her tone of voice is soft but articulate, intellectual and charming. But one of her words bothers me.
You maybe not use the word retrieve.
I'm a little scared to talk back to her, but I'm not going to budge on that one. She appears to have taken it back for just a moment. Then she smiles.
You're right. My apologies. I'm Mitsuru Kirijo, Labras' handler.
Day has been okay. Been meaning to drop. Been more glad I can catch you. Thanks for joining us. I was happy to have you here. Kirijo. I've heard that name somewhere before. Kirijo. As in the huge company Kirijo? I turned to Aiga for an answer. Picking up on what I wanted to say, she replies with a smile. Seriously? So the group she had mentioned was, because we're all scared silly by the important name, Kirijo tells us incredibly politely that they were mostly the cause of the incident. She also explains that and what I wanted to know about most, how Labras was going to be treated.
I'm not gonna be scrapped.
I have no plans to shut you down or destroy you. Kirijo-san's answer is so direct that we can't help but cheer. Labras was more perplexed than happy. Kirijo-san takes Labras' hand and lowers her head.
You aren't. You have done nothing wrong. It's actually me who should be apologizing to you.
Oh no, you don't gotta do that.
How'd she switch sides like that?
I felt like there was no getting around being sealed away again. I've made friends now, so I thought I could live with it.
Labras.
I can't believe this is happening. This is all thanks to you, Yosuke-kun. Ah!
Here we go.
Labras?
What the? Something's wrong with Labras. I guess and the others all look confused by her unnatural pause. I know she's been through a lot today. Did she break something? But then she speaks in a voice that none of us were expecting.
It's not over yet.
That's not Labras' voice. That's not Labras' voice? It's as if someone speaking through her mouth.
Is this the same communication system we use? Everyone, step away from Labras.
Kirijo-san, seemingly used to dangerous situations, warns everyone. At that moment, Labras' hand moves, stretching towards the battle axe on her back. And the next instant, lifting the axe without hesitation, she swings right at me. That was faster than I've ever seen. Even the shadow wasn't that fast. The ground is split for several meters, and the fragments fly everywhere. What the hell? What's going on here?
Labras. Hey, what's gotten into you?
I cannot gain access. She is being hacked. It isn't coming from inside this facility. The signal originates elsewhere.
You mean outside the TV?
This is just a little extra resistance. Now, entertain me.
Labras' face is completely expressionless, and she points as she points her axe at me.
What happened to you, Labris? Damn it, why do we have to fight now after making it this far? Ugh!
Again? Did I fail her again? That horrible thought crept back into my mind. I frantically try to shake it out of my head as I lift my weapons. I try telling myself over and over, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Damn it. I'm not going to do the battle though because it is around time. I can't go too much farther. So we're going to have to leave this as a sort of cliffhanger ending for the next time we come back to this game. Jerk. All right then. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't finish Yosuke's story today, but as with the previous days, I'm on a strict I'm on a time limit, and I can't risk going much further because I might hit load shedding. And in any case, we did make a lot of progress with Yosuke's story. We're almost at the end of it. And then we'll go into a new character. So let's see who we have to raid. All right, Hoshino. Okay, so next week we will be getting back to Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and continuing that story. But I'll see you all next Friday for more Final Fantasy VI. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Metis Balaska signing out.